Alright guys, I must say, maybe to some extent I expected this day to come, but not. So actually, no, I'm joking. It really doesn't matter that much to me. I don't think it should matter that much to anybody at all, really. The reason I'm making this video, I didn't really want to make it to begin with, but the reason that I am making it is because there's a lot of people asking me about what happened, and I guess I just wanted to tell them while addressing some of the things that I've wanted to address over the past good while. But I just want to say that I don't really care all that much about anything happening here. It's really just like shit that happens online. It's pretty much like a good like 0.05% of my life, and I don't think it should be it should be something that really matters that much to anybody else either. So just keep that in mind. I'm not making this video to attack anybody. Like genuinely, I don't care what anybody does. I'm just addressing the things that's happened. I wish everybody great fortune in their future endeavors, because I don't see why I would have to keep making this personal, as I've already done so many times, which was clearly incorrect. But yeah, I'll just post some of the evidence I have here. I don't have everything that I could post because that's all on my computer and I'm getting it fixed right now, so I don't have access to that. But I think what I have is enough to kind of have me point out what I've wanted to point out, and yeah. Alright, so to begin with, let me just cover basically everything that's happened and why I got banned over it. Well, I didn't really get banned, I got demoted, but I guess, I don't know. I guess that's pretty much all there is to it, right? But yeah. What happened was, we're gonna have to go really far back with this one. Basically, ever since the beginning of when I became a moderator in Blackout, which was back in 2023, February, I believe, I got accepted. I was quite happy about that. Everything was fine for a while for the most part, but you know, as time went on, as the trial mods me alongside a bunch of other trial mods, some of which no longer exist in the server anymore. As we got promoted, when I interacted with them more, especially regarding moderation, I clearly didn't exactly share some of the views they shared, how I like to moderate and how they like to moderate. I didn't really dislike these people. I actually like some of them. They were pretty nice people. It's always, the thing with people is you always enjoy being around them when you don't have anything against them, right? That's pretty much what happens all the time. And yeah, basically over time, kind of had some disputes with them regarding moderation. From how I saw it, the way they were moderating isn't exactly a very good way to deal with things. I've looked into a few appeals and I've gotten people unbanned, which in the case where I didn't try to get them unbanned, they wouldn't even have gotten a chance to talk to another moderator and get themselves unbanned. Which is one of the things that I was thinking about for a pretty long time. I was like, hey, you guys don't really moderate that fair, and I feel like they ego people a lot as well, which I feel like that could honestly be seen in so many ways. And that was the first part, and then after a while, what was I doing? Oh right, I ended up leaking one of the updates. I think partially one of the updates, which was I think mainly the unfinished Skyfall, which is honestly that was completely on my part. So deadass, if I had gotten, I don't know, removed from stripped of everything I've had back then, I honestly that would have been quite fair, but that didn't happen. And at the same time, I'm not trying to justify myself here. I was completely in the wrong, but I know that there's also other moderators. I'm pretty sure that there's other moderators and developers partially leaking things to another group of people in a private community, which I personally don't find that like justifiable, but sure, I guess. yeah, that was that. And then after a while, I just kept playing the game, uploading videos, a few unbans here and there, not much. A few disputes in the Discord server, and as time went on, I went into, I guess, high school kind of started to kick in. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop playing Blackout. Not really because high school kicked in, but because the game got kind of boring for me. Blackout's still doing pretty good today. Yeah. By then, right, I just got kind of inactive for a while. And I guess around that part is when Q Chronos got into some sort of drama with the rest of the mod team, which, to be honest, I feel like it's quite unprofessional to dedicate so much time against a singular person, because the way I saw it in the end was it was literally just personal disputes at that point. I mean, they made an entire like kill montage with fucking edits in it, just as like a fucking evidence video against Q Chronos. And even in the end, Sixfold even had to come to an agreement with Q Chronos. He was like, "Oh well, you take the video down, and we're gonna unban you," which I don't think really helps with his case a lot either, because it kind of just shows that the video was actually there and it was showing something that he didn't want the other people to see. So he had to come to an agreement with Q Chronos, but that's whatever. I was kind of there when that happened. I was in this CC group chat, content creator group chat, with some other fellas. We were talking about stuff. I actually did it for a while. I don't really regret it. Well, maybe partially, but I was shit talking the moderation for a good while. I was talking about how I kind of disliked some of the moderators, which to some extent I still do. I never felt like I fit in well among them, and I feel like they're quite the. Well, something just fell out of there. Anyways, they're not very considerate people, as I would say, as I've seen from their moderations. Some of them has decently weird pasts too. They're not very kind, especially when it comes to moderation. They really do not give people a chance when it comes to appeals sometimes. And they most definitely take a lot of things a bit too personally as a moderator, which I'm sure to some extent you can pretty much swap out the entire mod team and have people do a much better job professionally, because I'm sure there's people willing to do that, but that also comes with the issue of gaining trust and stuff. So I'm not too worried about that. And yeah, so basically what I did back then, kind of Sixfold got added to the group chat, scrolled all the way up for some reason, because apparently he just loves digging into past and whatever that has happened. He was like, oh, here's what he said. I'll put a screenshot on the screen here. And yeah, that's what he said. I mean, to some extent, fair enough. I guess some of the things I did was technically in the wrong, but this video was never meant to be about me or about any particular moderator. That was never the goal of this video. It was kind of to just tell people about what happened to me because they are confused. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have bothered making this. And also kind of talk about some things that I didn't really like about the current state of the game. The game is fine for the most part. Something that I've always stood by actually was moderation doesn't really matter that much, because there's so many players, only a good amount of them actually gets negatively influenced by it. So to the game, moderation it really doesn't change that much. It does affect it a bit, but I'd say overall, its effect on the community overall, and the game performance, it's not that big of a deal. But the only reason I really cared about it is because I was a moderator. But yeah, besides that, what else is there? There's really not much else. I could go much more in depth with this video if I wanted to. I have a lot of recordings and screenshots on my computer, which I do not have access to right now. I mean, that one was the one I was using for a good 2 years until I had to get the CPU fixed. But that one was the one where I had all the evidence of moderation and whatever on it. But again, that wasn't the point of this video, and I don't want to dedicate that much time to making this either. I don't have a script either. I'm just yabbling over here. I won't make a response to anything that maybe they will potentially produce after this. I'm sure they're expecting me to make this as well. Which is, I mean that's fair. Why wouldn't you expect me to make this, right? But yeah. Again, my final message to the people watching this is: some of you guys take internet shit way too seriously. All right, just tune it down a notch. Blackout really isn't much of your life. I swear to God, I've seen people playing that shit for over 10 hours a day straight. It's not healthy, man. It's just a game. In the end, it is really just a game. If you really end up getting banned, it's like tough luck, buddy. Have to move on to the next state of your life, right? It's not that big of a deal. All right, it's just the fucking internet. Stop getting so mad and personal over some things. It really isn't worth your time, and it's not that healthy either. Focus on yourself, man. I'm sure you guys have your dreams and aspirations, and let's not have that limited and restrained by a Roblox game. Yeah, don't take everything online so seriously. That's pretty much it. I don't really want to say anything else. Yeah, bye guys.